Hello guys, I believe that this video is going to be interesting for you because many people are asking me about what happened with this hero right here, Rook. I know that many players start to invest now to get him, but the case is not just about to have him. Many of these players got him, tested him, and they got very frustrated and disappointed about the performance of this guy. Okay, there are already content creators that talk about him as well. I'll give an example. Gorax is one of these content creators and some others, but I'm going to tell you exactly what happened to him, why he's not performing on the way that he used to perform before. Okay, and it's everything about his skills. So Dragonheir team, they changed the skills of the corrosion. Okay, the corrosion team. When you talk about Rook, it doesn't mean, listen now, it doesn't mean that this guy right here eventually he's going to perform great. Okay, but the way that he used to build him totally changed. Why it changed? Because you guys know well that there is one mythical equipment. I'm going to show this mythical equipment right now. Okay, there is one mythical equipment right here that many players are focusing to have in the game. That is this one here. Okay, the Carnage. Okay, I tell you now, according to the skills of the new Rook, the Carnage gear is going to be useless. Okay, I hope that you understand this, but that's exactly what it is. Like, if you try to insist to put the Carnage on him, it's not going to work anymore. Okay, because his skills totally changed. All right, so I'm going to bring my Rook here. I'm gonna talk about his skills. Okay, so let's start right now here with the skills. Okay, so let's go here. So you still have the aura that improve attack, but look at this. We have true damage. All right, what true damage means? Ignores the target's defense when dealing damage. Unaffected by damage boost. You see this? That's the thing. Unaffected by damage boost. Okay, that means that the Carnage here not going to give him the boost for improved damage, right? Is everything written here? So penalties excluding special modifiers that affected true damage. What I mean about true damage is true damage, a part of the boost. Okay, a part of the boost one. So, and another thing here, look at this. Corrosion summons a giant mouse to strike enemies within range, dealing a plus. Okay, that's the reason. Then corrosion intensity. The percentage of damage converted into corrosion against the enemy when dealing poison damage. If the enemy fully corroded, deals direct damage instead. The maximum corrosion intensity is 50%. Okay, so that's continue kind of the same as it was before. And then we have here the everlasting rot. All right, that is what, when dealing damage by consuming the target's corrosion, each stack of everlasting rot reduces the amount of corrosion removed by 10% up to 100% without changing the damage dealt. Okay, that's one of the things as well. So if you see here, his ultimate skill gains 1 stack of everlasting rot up to 10 stacks. Upon casting this skill, then cast 3 spells, with each spell dealing plus 200% attack poison damage to enemies within range. Each spell launches 2 follow-up attack with a 1% corrosion consumed from the target, dealing plus 66 consumed corrosion. True damage. You see here, you have the true damage according to his passive skill, okay? Each hit. At the end of the skill, performs additionally follow-up attacks. Each consume 1% of the targets, okay? So guys, the case about Rook now, for you be able to do damage with him, you cannot count with the Carnage equipment anymore, okay? He has to do true damage according to his skill, okay? There are legendary equipments that can work for him, okay? But there are few mythical equipments that can also be useful for him. But I tell you, do not try to presume something that eventually you're gonna be able to use him accordingly to what you are expecting. That's possible this guy here bring to you in terms of performance, okay? But things changed about him, all right? Things changed about him, you know? Of course, that we're not gonna be able to build there, like you see, before we used to use the Dargros, you know? That's the epic hero in a composition with him, as like a Dargros or something. We don't need to use him anymore, you know, because now we can use other type of heroes here. So if you go here for corrosion, we can use horror instead of him. We don't need to use Dargo anymore, okay? And that's now she's the new hero that you have to go for, you know, so to complete all the corrosion team here, all right? That's one of the main things in terms of corrosion teams, all right? But for true damage things, again, it doesn't matter about Carnage, okay? So I tell you, I'm one of the creators that's still testing there in terms of composition stuff and performance, okay? And I tell you, I don't want you to be frustrated, but for you be able to compete in a high standard with Ice Blast team, you need to have a Rook at least 3 inspiration, okay? I3. I don't have him I3, but that's the way now. If you have I3 over, good for you, and I'm gonna be able to compete with Ice Blast team. But I tell you, the hero that people are going to discover here in terms of the 3rd season, this hero is gonna do a performance better than Rook, is, as I said in one of my videos, is exactly this hero here, okay? Everything depends on how you're gonna be able to build horror and the team that's gonna be composed with horror. But this hero here, she's gonna perform well than Rook I3, you know? Very soon you guys are gonna see teams, doubtly teams with horror, very soon, okay? It's just a way to build up the team, but she does pretty well in terms of the temporal vortex team, okay? She does well. It's all about the composition there and how we're gonna be able to build well this composition to work with her. But that's what it is, you know? But like, it doesn't mean Rook is gonna be useful, guys. You have Chief is there coming, and then you have the end game boss as well. That's going to be a status. Is eventually sooner. I'm not going to be draw this video. I'm gonna show here the way that's possible you build well Rook for you be able to have a better performance, okay? You have it there, as I said, one of the content creators, Gorax, is building, is showing even time in there. He reached 1 point something billion there damage. I already try on my composition. I reached according to my equipments. The max damage I did, it was 900 900 something. It was 923 million damage. Okay, not much. That's why I'm not using her in terms of temporal vortex, but I know that eventually it's possible you reach a very good damage. It's about equipment. Everything is about equipment, proper equipment, and that influences also criticals. You guys remember that criticals is very important to have. Critical rate for Rook and critical damage as well. But forget about Carnage. Whiskey, same thing. Depends of criticals right there and attack power. Okay, and then we have Sacredia. Sacredia is going to follow exactly on the same way, but of course you're gonna be using Sacredia, or she be able to place what? The defense down, this kind of stuff. She's not going to be there for damage. It's more about Whiskey and Rook. But I hope this video is going to be more for you understand a little bit in terms of the new change, because it's true damage now. Rook is based on true damage, okay? It's everything about true damage, and that's the big thing. So Dragonheir, probably they did this on the way for you. We sacrifice ourselves, see what we can do in terms of him, for you be able to improve him in a good performance. Okay, he's not trash. Okay, he's not trash. It's all about how we're gonna be able to build him correctly, and that's it, you know. But again, for you be able to compete in a high standard with Beldel, I suppose you have to have him in a I3. So I3 here, inspiration is going to be very important for him. Okay, so it's when he has critical rate and critical damage. That's influences a lot. All right. Anyway, guys, I hope this video can be good for you. Thank you very much for who is going to watch. Just leave a message what you guys think about the new rat now, and see you in the next video. Bye bye.
Hark! Do you hear it? The anguished wails from the Dragon Queen's retribution. When she forsook us, when she expelled us, they call us the Silent Gods, for we have been exiled beyond the world to where none can hear us speak. How glorious, how serendipitous, all because you have come into contact with his. This should have been our land!
Only you are once that captivating suit. I fight to defend my soul! One day, I shall depart the unyielding silk and be free of all this.
Now, he has awakened and stands before you.
Shadows
Entangled purpose.
the choice comes with a price.
Don't see me as one of those goofballs.
Follow my lead. Everything belongs to me!
We shall await. We shall observe. How will you transform this world?